Good afternoon, my dear students. This is Dr. Ruchi Agarwal from Board of Studies ICAI. I hope you all are in good health and taking good care of yourself. With the November 2022 examinations just a step ahead, I am quite sure that amidst the festivals, you all must have utilized your time very effectively and prepared well for giving your best in the examinations. Exams are just like a litmus paper. It's a litmus test of what? Of your abilities, of your strength, and your self management and self confidence. You are therefore advised to overcome your fear and repose faith in your capabilities, channel with your strength, and you will come out with flying colors. Your inner strength will help you to dispel your fear at the time of examination. As Chanakya said, as soon as the fear approaches near, attack and destroy it. I repeat, as soon as the fear of examination approaches near to you, attack and destroy it. Just be strong and study hard. Remember, there are no shortcuts for success. My dear students, I repeat, please remember that there are no shortcuts for success. With this, on behalf of Board of Studies, I welcome you for the fast track sessions of paper 7B, Strategic Management at Intermediate Level. The objective of scheduling this fast track classes are basically to brush up the knowledge focused on presentation, the exam strategy, solving or the queries as well as solving of questions, what should be the procedure to solve the questions, discuss on the common issues, working on improvement of your preparedness, motivate from better to best. That means you are now in a position to give your paper in a better condition. But how can we achieve the best? For all these, with all these objectives, these fast track classes are going on for the CA students. Before moving ahead, I would like to address your general queries received so far through various platforms. N number of questions arises in our mind attempting any examination. Students usually struggle with exam anxiety ahead of crucial examinations like the CA professional examination. You need to understand, my dear students, that the struggles faced by you can be easily resolved. Students generally asked, especially in strategic management, that ma'am, how to score good marks, how to write the answer, what is the marking pattern in the strategic management, how we can improve our performance, etc., etc. These are few of the queries which we receive in day in day out on almost on daily basis, that students are struggling on the questions related to their general things, which are very, very important. So first of all, I'm going to address those queries. Few of the common issues are how to write answer to score maximum marks in strategic management. Many students asked this question to me. My dear students, answer to score good marks is use star approach. Use star approach. STAR approach. S stands for, in this approach, S stands for situation. That means identify the concept being asked in the question. Then second is task. Explain the concepts with relevance to the given problem. Whatever the problem is given in the question, explain the concept on the given problem. Third is your action. Write your opinion as to how the action taken by business helps or what action should be taken by the business. And last but not least is R, that is result. You have to conclude your answer. Conclude the answer in one line in your own words, that what is basically the crux of the problem. So you have to adopt this STAR approach. First, identify the problem, then task, then actions, then result. So with this approach, if you will give the answers, definitely you will score good marks. One more question is, students, uses of language or manner of giving answers. That what kind of language we use and how we, in which manner we can give the answers. So my advice to all of you, language to be used should have business touch. Here business touch means the terminology. Every paper have their own terminology. So my request to all my students, please try to understand that don't write the vague answers, don't write the answers in such a manner that it should not reflect any business touch, any terminology pertains to strategic management. Try to write, use the language to be used in such a manner which reflects in the answer that you are using the strategic terminology or any business touch in the answer. Try to avoid any kind of generic answers. No generic answers. Be very specific. What have been asked in the paper, you have to be specific on that count. Use bullets and pointers. Try to use bullets, points as much as possible rather than to just simply write in the paragraph form. Properly framed language, no flowcharts, etc., etc. You have to write, since it is a paper of analytical sort of analytics and interpretation, so it is very, very important to write the answers in a legible language, in a properly framed language, not in the form of bits and pieces, right? Underline the keywords. If possible, if you have time, try to underline the keywords which are important in the answer. Keep it simple and easy to understand. Do not try to make it flowery. We are not here to judge your language test. This paper is not all about that you have to write something flowery or something like that. Be simple and the language which is easy to understand. Anyone can easily understand that. Proper conclusion in line with requirement of question is a must. That means, as I already told you in my approach, that result, conclusion is very, very important. You have to conclude the answer. Before moving ahead, I would like to address few of your other queries related to your examination. Oh, one more query which generally students are asked, that ma'am, what is the marking pattern in strategic management? Few of the students came to board of studies with their answer sheets, and they have discussed so many things. So in that I found that a few of students are asking, ma'am, what should be the pattern, what is the pattern of marking pattern in strategic management? So I would like to share with you that marking pattern is stepwise marking pattern is followed. Breaking up of marks done for writing of relevant concepts heading, whatever the relevant concepts heading you are writing, and then application of that concept with respect to the given business case, short case in the question. So what you have to do, there is a stepwise marking, and breakup is like you have to write the relevant concept headings as well as their application. What are the sources available for revision oblique practices? Oh, my dear students, the very effective sources, of course, no doubt, is institute's own study material. First of all, you have to read thoroughly the study material. Then for revision or practices, there are many materials, like you can see the virtual coaching classes, recorded lectures, their assignments, notes related to virtual coaching. Even though these lectures are recorded, you can at least listen those recorded lectures. And most important is booklet on MCQs and case scenarios, which generally students are not aware about that. That institute has already published a booklet on MCQs and case scenarios. And this case scenario booklet consists of around 150 independent MCQs and 35 case scenarios along with MCQs. So 35 into 5, how many MCQs it will become? 175 are the MCQs based on case scenarios, as well as around 150 independent MCQs. They all are published in the booklet on MCQs and case scenarios. Whenever a student come to board of studies, most of the students are not aware about this booklet. Students, please, my request to all of you, kindly read this booklet. It is already available in the PDF form on our institute's website, and if you want to purchase that booklet, you can purchase it from CDS portal. But this booklet is very effective for practicing, for doing practice as well as revision. Then the RTPs. My advice to students, that please at least go through the past 4 attempts RTPs. Suggested answers, which are again very important. You can even for practice, you can see for 4-5 attempts of suggested answers. Today I will also, in my next say in my continuation of session, I would also, if time permits me, I would like to share with you or discuss with you the suggested answers of May 2022 itself. And MTP, both series, there are 2 series of MTP, and the MTP series will start from 17th onwards, or no, for 27th of September onwards. First MTP series will start from 27th of September. So you can please try to at least do it. You can send those after doing your MTPs, you can send your answer sheets to us by scan and mail us. But do it in a very, very honest manner. So these are few of the things by which student can revise or practice at the at this stage. Now these are all related to your preparation tips. Now examination, from examination point of view, what are the tips? Prefer past year papers. Refer past year papers, as I already told you, suggested answers, questions. Please read those question papers as well as the answers. Try to understand that how you have to attempt, how you have to write in the paper, and what kind of expectations are required. You will able to assess all these things with past year papers. Few of the students are not aware about the weightage of the units as well as the skills required for attempting for giving the answers of this subject. So I am here to just showing you the weightage. We are having the strategic management contains 8 chapters, 8 units, right? And all are equally important. Please remember, students, that each and every unit is having equal weightage, and the weightage is minimum 10% and maximum 20%. That means minimum 10% means from every unit minimum 6 marks question will come, and maximum is 12, right? So that's why I'm saying that all the units are quite essential, all the units are important, because from every unit there must be minimum 6 marks paper from each unit, and maximum we can ask 12 marks paper from that unit. So this is all about the weightage of the units. And now come to the point, level of knowledge, how the skills are required. So comprehension and knowledge and analysis and application. Comprehension and knowledge is 50 to 70%, and analysis and application 30 to 50%, and that stands to all my units, whether it is my first unit, first chapter, which is introduction to strategic management, or it is my second chapter, dynamics of competitive strategy, in which we are studying this industry analysis, SWOT analysis. There are different kind of models, portfolio analysis. Then whether it is third chapter, strategic management process, where we study strategic intent, planning and formulation, or all the 3 levels of strategy: corporate level, or business level, or functional level. All the 3 levels of strategy, they all have equal weightage and equal skill expertise are required. Next is organization and strategic leadership, and strategy implementation and control. All units are having equal weightage. So in nutshell, I can say that all the units, all the 8 units are essentially required. You can't do limited preparation, because if you will not do any of the unit, that is for sure minimum 6 marks you will lose, or it may be up to 12. So my advice to all the students, please don't do selective studies. I repeat, please don't do any selective study since all the units are having same weightage, minimum of 6 marks, maximum of 12 marks. So don't avoid any of the unit or topic in the contents. Few of the queries I'm seeing, one of the student Yedu Kondalam Chitala, how many years paper need to be referred? Kindly advise. As I told you, beta, please at least do 4 attempts at least, or it is up to you or your potential. Better you do, better you get. How much practice, how much exercise you will do, the better results you will get. Then how to learn keywords? Krishna Sharma is asking that, ma'am, how to learn keywords? Keywords, as I always told my students in my previous sessions also, that it's not all about in a one-day story to learn or to grab the keywords. You have to read at least one English financial newspaper on daily basis to get acquainted with the terminology, to get acquainted with the terminology of strategic management as well as business language. We called it as business language. So you will automatically, your vocabulary get increased and you need not to cram those keywords. This problem occurs only with the students, those who are not reading financial newspapers. The students who are reading on routine basis the financial newspapers, they are very much acclimatized with the keywords of business language. One of the student, Radha Iyer, I suppose Radha you have taken my other sessions also, but anyhow, Radha, ma'am, how to quote the practical scenario like the company's existing applying various strategies while answering the questions. Wait, Radha, wait for the session. I am going to address this query. Okay. Next is paper pattern, which is very important. Students, try to understand that paper pattern is a almost a specified pattern. We have 50 marks paper of strategic management that you know very well, and out of that 50 we have a proportion of 30-70. 30-70, that means 30 is MCQs and 70 is descriptive. Since it is a 50 marks paper, so automatically the ratio will become 15 marks and 35 marks. So 15 marks is a MCQ based and all the MCQs are compulsory MCQs. Again, these MCQs are further subdivided into two sections. One is case scenario based questions and another one is independent application based MCQs. First is case scenario based MCQ. Here there is a case scenario generally based on some of the real time business stories. And out of that case scenario, few of the MCQs, maybe 4-5 MCQs were asked for the students to solve it. So these are the compulsory ones And another one are application based MCQs, simple MCQs. These MCQs are also very important and these are compulsory. If a student can correct all the MCQs, that means he has scored full-fledgedly 15 marks in our paper. Students, you have to make the strategy. We are studying strategic management, then how can we fail in making the strategy of doing our strategic management paper? Think strategically before doing the paper. And 35 marks is descriptive, in which again one compulsory caselet based question comes and rest are choice based. Till now, whatever we have discussed, case scenario based MCQs, application based MCQs, and one compulsory caselet based question. These all are compulsory questions. There is no choice in all these questions. We have a choice only in the questions in which out of 4 you have to select any 3 questions with, and every question is having 2 parts and each part is 5 marks each. So this is all about paper pattern. Now a very obvious question arises in the mind is that how to attempt the MCQs. The options in MCQs are such that a student needs to have a good knowledge of the concepts and apply the same correctly to the case given to choose the correct option. Every MCQ has 4 options which might seem similar. It may be possible after reading the question, sometimes we get confused that they all are, maybe if the question pertains to the diversification or something like that. So students get confused in the options whether it is concentric or conglomerate or it is horizontal or it is vertical or something like that. So the student has to choose the most appropriate answer in the given situation. In case scenarios, read the scenario very carefully. Read the scenario very carefully. Underline the keywords wherever while reading the case scenario you find keywords. Please remember, underline those keywords immediately while you are reading. The MCQs arise from the facts and strategies given in the case scenario. These questions would be compulsory. All the MCQs are compulsory. As I already told you, no internal or external choice, no negative marking for wrong answers. So, please attempt all the MCQs because till now there is no negative marking. No reasoning is required. MCQs will be knowledge or it may be application based. Now this is all about the MCQs part. Now how we will answer descriptive questions, especially the scenario based application question. One of the student Neelabjo Mondal, he is asking, we use the words strategy and strategic choice in framing our subjective answers in this subject. Can you kindly tell us how to do so, ma'am? My dear student, This is not all about that you have to write the strategy word or strategic choice word. Depending upon the situation, depending upon the question asked by you in the examination, you have to write. While you are writing the answers, I am not saying that every time you have to put the word strategy. No. You have to find out, you have to write the legible language, which is essentially required. Don't write any superficial language or any kind of flowery language. Okay, I'm going forward to it. Answer how to answer the descriptive questions as well as scenario based practical question, which is again a compulsory question, 5 marks question. Here, first of all, student, you have to use the same practice as you are using in the case scenario because it is a caselet. Recall the concept. Recall the concept involved in the situation given in the question. Correlate and apply it to the provided issue. Whatever the issue, first you have to identify the situation, that what is basically it is all about. Then recall that concept which you have read at in particular situation. Then correlate and apply it to the given situation. Then give conclusion with correct answer. These are the 3 steps which you have to use, subject to length of the answer should be as per the marks of the question. Generally it is of 5 marks, so you have to make sure that the length should be in a corrective form. Otherwise, if you know that question answer, will write, it will definitely impact your other answers. Again, you have to work on time management. Answer shall always be in a simple, properly framed language. As I already mentioned that please write simple language, properly framed language. And here I am using again and again properly framed language. I am using it with a very heavy heart, that because after seeing the answer sheets of so many students, I found that students are not even able to frame or make the sentence in a proper language. Please, we need proper framed language. Okay. Nilabjo is saying that he understood what I want to say. Thank you. Avoid giving generalized answers without capturing the core concepts. That means don't make the stories. Don't generalize the answer. Put the keywords in it. Put the concepts in it and write your answer. Now, in case of direct theoretical or descriptive questions which comes in the paper, 4 questions, out of 4 you have to choose any of the 3 which are having 2 parts. So in those questions, how to attempt? Highlight the main points with brief description in the form of bullet points, headings, whatever. That is again depends upon what question they are asking. Explain the things with example if possible, or if you are comfortable and if you are thorough that the example is correct, then only you will put the example wherever you feel so. Break the answer in brief points or paragraph. If you are writing in paragraph, break it into small paragraphs. Don't write like essay types. Avoid diagrammatic presentation or flowcharts because it's an interpretation based paper. There is no need of any kind of flowchart. Now, it's a very good question, how to manage time in examination. Many students ask this, that madam, if we will write in this question, many a times it happened that we have left the paper, or we can. So, how to manage time? Make optimum use of 15 minutes given for reading. It is very important. Please make sure that the 15 minutes which will give you a very good thought while you are writing, if you have read those questions in 15 minutes very carefully and very, you can say, sincerely, you will get a whole framework in your mind that how to attempt these questions. So you have to maximum utilize your 15 minutes which will give you a reading time. Go through all the questions quickly so that you can understand that, oh, this is question and this may be the answer. Select the questions that you would be attempting from all the questions. We have a choice only in the questions from 3 to 6. Rest of the questions are compulsory questions. So you have to select that question that which you are not going to attempt. Rest of the questions you have to attempt. Make the question which you mark the question which you will be attempting first, because it is very important. First impression is the last impression. So whatever question you are going to start, begin with that question in which you are 100% comfortable and you can give your 100% to answer. Allocate an estimated time for each question based on their difficulty level and marks carried, keeping aside 10 minutes for revision. Always remember, it is very much essential to at least revise your answer sheet, that whatever you had done is correct or not, especially in the MCQs. Read it and submit it. Answer length to be in sync with the marks which the question carries. One of the Radha is asking a question, madam, it happens that MCQ booklet is given after 15 minutes given for reading. Then how to allocate time for MCQs? Reading answer time. Okay, so you can, if MCQs are not there, you can go with the other theoretical descriptive questions. At least you have to make out that this is about we are going to not to attempt this question, and how we can do a compulsory case scenario based question, caselet based question. You can frame a answer in your mind on that. If the answer sheets are not available with you, you can at least have an analytical view, a critical view on the questions which the book which are mentioned in the booklet. Okay, Radha? Answer length to be in sync with the marks which the question carries. Answer should be precise and to the point. Don't write over enthusiastically. Please be precise and to the point. Revision for in virtual classes, you can go by either by BoS mobile app or see recorded live lectures or go to the assignments for self assessment. These all are the things are available on virtual coaching classes for your revision. Few more questions were asked in the past by the students that can we write answers in our own language? Yes, of course you can. There is no objection on it. But don't forget to use the keywords, underline them, and make sure you write answers in bullet points. Right, students? Because it helps make your answer easy to read and mark by the examiner. Are study material and question booklet enough for preparation? Yuvraj is asking, ma'am, how to identify the keywords. Yuvraj, I think you have logged in late. Are you a latecomer? Because I told you categorically these keywords you can learn by heart only when you are reading following any of the leading business financial newspaper. If you are reading on daily basis, there is no need to learn any keywords. You will automatically, your vocabulary in the brain automatically works on it. But if you are not reading any financial newspaper, so you have to learn, as simple as that. So the question is, I think Yuvraj, now you are okay, you are satisfied. The next question is, are study material and question booklet enough for preparation? They are enough, my dear students, but you must also go through past attempt questions, mock test papers, RTPs, suggested answers, case scenario booklet, and virtual coaching classes uploads. Is there any negative marking? Oh my god, this question, I alternate days I got this question. That ma'am, is there any negative marking? Is there? So far it is not. But after getting so much of queries on it, it may also be possible that in the future the institute will take such an action to get it in a negative manner also. Please remember, there is no negative marking. That's why I'm emphasizing and focusing and saying to you that please attempt all the questions. Which part to attempt first? Very, you can say, simple question. Part A or part B? Tell me, my dear students, one thing. Whichever we know, we always prefer to do it earlier. Am I wrong or right? Whatever thing and whatever we know, we want to put it as early as possible. So that is again up to you. You can decide that. But make sure the part you start, you should complete that before going to the other one. Do not mix mingle up both the parts. It will create problem for you. You will get confused that you are writing somewhere IT, somewhere SM or something, right? Complete one and then go to the other one. Where to do revisions from? I have already discussed this in my this session as well, in the previous sessions also, that please read past attempt questions, mock test paper, revisionary RTPs, revisionary test paper, suggested answers, booklet, case scenario booklet is very important, which the students are not aware. That's why I am focusing on it. I am getting confused in case scenarios. One of the student is asking that I am getting confused in case scenarios. How do I solve those? Any tricks and tips? Oh my God, you get confused in case scenarios. The biggest tip to solve case scenario is to begin reading the questions first. Reverse theory. First read the questions, MCQs, then read the case scenario, so that while reading the case scenario, you have a broad draft in your mind that what kind of answers we have to give and what kind of questions they have asked to us to give the answers. So the biggest tip to solve case scenarios is to begin reading the questions first. Read all the questions and identify the concepts asked in there. Then, when you go to read the case, find those concepts and link them. Then again go back to the questions and try to solve it. This will help build speed and helps to keep a cross check as well. By this, you can easily identify and have a cross check on it. So I think that this is a very good trick. Why generally what the students will do, first read the case scenario, then they will go on the MCQs or questions, then again they have to go on case scenario to find out the answers of the questions. So it is advisable to curtail the time and for the better understanding, that first read the MCQs, the questions which are asked by the paper setter, then go for case scenario, so that you can easily underline those points which have been asked in the case scenario. How many revisions are enough for SM? Oh, that is again up to your potential, that how many revisions are required. At least one is essential, and this is again up to you and your preparation, your memory power, your strength, that how much you can be capable to learn or set in your memory. But at least one revision is very much essential. Good if you can do more than that, but more than revision, go for past attempt questions, solve them without looking at answers. Then only it will serve the purpose. If you will see the solved answers, then it will not make any sense. So, read the past attempt questions, solve them without looking them. Practice writing the answers more and more. It is going to help build a format in your head and other head, not brain, and helps you write every answer in a set format, which makes it easier and impactful for the examiner. This is all about the general queries so far I have received in my live session, as well as on daily basis we got 2 to 3 queries regarding the general as well as the technical queries, but this is all about the uh, paper pattern, how to attempt, how to write, how to read even, and how to understand, and what is our skill wise weightage, what is our section wise weightage. This is all about which I have discussed with you. What are the contents in your hand which are provided by the Chartered Accountant Institute, like your RTPs, your mock tests, your revisionary classes, your virtual classes uploads, your ebooks, your quick references, your study material. These are the things which pertains to your queries. Few of the queries are some of the one of the technical query which I generally facing during the with the students interaction, as well as many of the students wrote me on that count, which I am going to address over here so that others can, if you are able to understand it, it is very good. But if you are not known to it or you are having any doubts, I am going to address this particular question, that how horizontal integration and concentric diversification. Many of the students ask me that, ma'am, whether horizontal diversification or concentric diversification are the same or they are different, how they are different. You have mentioned in your study material that they are different. No, horizontal, my answer to all these queries is, remember students, that horizontal diversification is a broader, wider concept which essentially suppressed concentric diversification. And do you know the meaning of diversification? We are here discussing horizontal as well as concentric. Before that, we should understand basically the uh, what is basically the diversification. So diversification is a corporate strategy, as you all are aware, that is used to bring new products into existing market. First condition is new products into existing market, or enter into a new market. First is new products into existing market. Second is enter into new market. And third is enter into new industry. I hope that you all are aware that the difference between an industry and a market. Where the business does not currently, in which industry? Where the business does not currently operate while there are new emerging products in the market. Diversification strategies includes internal development of new products or markets. First is how we can diversify: by internally develop the new products or markets. Otherwise, having an alliance with a complementary company, by strategic alliance, or by acquisition of a firm and distributing or importing product line that is manufactured by another company, another firm. A combination of these options best does the final strategy. So this is all about diversification. Now, horizontal diversification includes, one is new and providing new and unrelated products, that is conglomerate diversification, or services to an existing consumers. It also means adding products and services to the product or service line. So, horizontal diversification can be seen in the following, basically in two forms, concentric as well as conglomerate. As I already mentioned that horizontal diversification is a broader, wider concept which essentially suppresses concentric diversification. And concentric diversification, what is now concentric diversification? It add new products to the existing market, add new products to the existing products in same market that will serve similar customers through that same distribution system. Otherwise, another concentric is add new products to the existing products by using similar technology or by similar. So that means concentric can be done new products to the existing products in similar market or by using similar technology. This is called technology related concentric diversification. Like I can give you the example of mobiles, because nowadays every student in your age is having a very good and handsome mobile in your hand. So you can easily understand the example of mobile phone, right? So this is all about horizontal and concentric. With this, I hope that you will be able to understand this technical aspect. Yes, few of the queries I am seeing. Neelabjo is writing, yes ma'am, you addressed all the basic questions in out of mind regarding the pattern, approach of the subject. Everything is crystal clear now. Thank you ma'am. Thank you Neelabjo. If my purpose of taking this session, if I am able to give you my guidance even for 1, 2, 3 students, it will definitely serve my purpose. Few other queries. Are there? Just give me a second. I am looking. Radha is asking one question. So, ma'am, ultimately, for questions like value chain analysis or matrix questions, diagram should be down or not? Down? Drawn. I suppose, Radha, it is drawn or not. Since you said that no flow chart, oh my dear student, flow chart means you try to write the things, don't do like 1 2 3 but that's it. No, if there is a chart like in matrix structure or in you can say in the value chain analysis or network structure or any of the other functional structure, yes of course you have to prepare the chart of that structure. Okay. Yes, yes. Best example for diversification is Apple bringing various editions of iPhones. Yes, yes. I have already mentioned this in my session na, that students will easily understand the best example of phones. You all are very much aware about it. No need to give any explanation on it. Right, Radha? Then diversification, grow and expand by venturing into new markets or making new products. That means horizontal is the, yes, more or less horizontal diversification is the parent of concentric and conglomerate. Okay, thank you, Radha, thank you. With this, now I am, if you have any queries till now, I would like from your mouth, please students, send your queries, post your queries so that I can give you the answers. Otherwise, I should, with moving forward, I should like to address or discuss the suggested answers of May 2022. I am giving you 2 minutes. If you have any queries or any doubts, please post those queries, or otherwise we will discuss the suggested answers of May 22, where I found 2-3 major thrust areas which I found while seeing the answer copies of the students. So I would like to share with you and address you that these kind of mistakes try to avoid. So if you have any query, first I am giving you the opportunity to send your queries, otherwise we will go with the suggested answers, because it will again take time to discuss the suggested answers. That's why I am asking you. This is 5 questions. Answer question number 6, which is very, you know that it is compulsory. Any 3 questions out of remaining 4 that you all know. So come to the point. We will discuss this Paramount group of companies is having a strong footprint in the areas of aviation, healthcare, fast moving consumer goods, home appliances, and electronic goods. Processes, technology, and marketing capabilities are different from each business. However, each business operates among a group of rivals that produce competitive products. In order to get ahead of the competition, that means there is a competition, already rivals are there, and in order, here you have to underline this line, in order to get ahead of competition and to contribute for sustained competitive advantage, company intends to improve. What company wants? Company intends to improve customer services and in turn increase its market share. So that means what the company basically wants, to increase the market share. This is the key line. To achieve this, company is desirous to analyze its product, process and service levels for each of its segment. It's a very clear-cut case where the company is analyzing the product, process and service levels. It's a clear-cut case of benchmarking. Another clue is company is studying various trade publications, understanding the taste and preference of customers, meeting with suppliers and also using the other relevant information available in public domain for each of its business operations. Right. After studying as above, company wants to compare diverse range of practices and processes. Diverse range of practices and processes being followed by acknowledged leaders in the industry. Who are the acknowledged leaders? The benchmarkers. And company wants to compare themselves with benchmarkers, measures its own productivity and identify the gaps. It is a very clear case of benchmarking again. Then instead the following bricks and mortar practices, company will be setting goals to achieve for improvement in its product, process and services based on best practice. It is again a case of benchmarking being followed by the companies on a regular basis. Now the question is, identify the strategic tool to be used by paramount group of companies. I think most of the students have written it well, but I found few of the answer sheets where students have wrote SWOT analysis. How it is a SWOT analysis? I really don't know. It's a very clear scenario where the company wants to make their organization and they want to compare their organization with the benchmarked acknowledged leaders and turn their organization into the increase its market share, and they want to do best practices being followed by the companies on regular basis. These three are the punchlines by which we can easily make out that this is a clear-cut case of benchmarking. One of the student is writing, ma'am, can the case studies of the previous attempt papers be made available to the students as the question asked are of advanced level? You are talking about the case studies, the MCQs. So it is not available even to us. Even I can't access those MCQs and those case studies. Right? So here we are discussing about this. So I think that there is no as such confusion in this particular question, but I am really little bit upset as well as wondered that why students have wrote some other answers on it. It's a very clear crystal case of benchmarking. So in that you have to identify it. What approach you have to follow? First, identify that what has been asked in the question. Then you have identified that it's a case of benchmarking, right? Then what you have to do? You have to incorporate the concept in it. So you have to write about the benchmarking. Then what have been asked Explain in brief the common elements involved in using this tool. So you have to write the elements of benchmarking process. Right? So in this way the answer get complete. Next question is a very interesting question. Good health is an association of persons providing awareness to downtrodden on immunization, vaccination, sanitization, and other health and hygiene issues. It is not for profit organization working in coordination with hospitals, medical support centers, and local administration. Okay, this is a very small case, an organization, an association of persons who is providing awareness on immunization, vaccination, health related hygiene issues. And it is an NGO, not for profit organization, working with in coordination with hospitals, medical support centers, and local administration. Now, what they want to you from you? You are asked to take over the organization and manage it in a better way. Identify whether the concept of strategic management is relevant in this connection, and if so, what basic activities you would perform in order to manage it effectively. So for the first question, first part of first question is of 1 mark. So how will you identify? The concept of strategic management process is effectively being used by number of NGOs, right? And the strategic management at good health should essentially cover what? Analyzing and interpreting the strategic intent, required resources in terms of finance, manpower, undertaking SWOT analysis, then setting goals in the area of downtrodden, analyze the desired future positions. So it's a very simple question, but students have given average answers due to, I think, some language issues, and some students are not able to correctly interpret it. The next question is it imperative to segregate top level strategies into viable functional plans and policies? Do you agree with this statement? Support your answer with reasons. Majority of the students have not written it correctly. Why? It's a very simple question. Is it imperative to segregate top level strategies into viable functional plans and policies? Do you agree with this statement? Yes, we are agreed with this statement. For writing yes, you will got 1 mark. How? Because top level management, it is imperative to segregate top level strategies into viable functional plans and policies that are compatible with each other. Major strategies must be translated to lower levels to give holistic strategic directions to an organization. Because we will execute it at what level? At functional level. Functional strategies are needed just to achieve the top level strategies. And for that, you have to give the reasons why functional level strategies are needed and how they are needed. So very easy question, but students have not written so well. Then, oh, it's a very good question. 8A. XYZ Limited. Please read it very, very carefully, students. I think this is the question or some other question students have written. Yes, this is the only question. XYZ Limited is an automobile company that offers diversified products for all customers segment. Due to COVID-19, the changes took place in the economy forced the company to change its strategy. Being the CEO of the company, what stages will you follow for developing and executing the new strategy? Please read this question twice because there a lot of students get confused while answering these questions. Here the line is due to COVID-19, the changes took place in the economy forced the company to change its strategy. That means it's an existing company. Company has already in existence. It has its own vision, mission and all the strategic and intent. Right? But due to COVID-19, the changes took place in the economy forced the company to change its strategy. That means if we are going to change its strategy, that means the already there is some strategy. So being the CEO of the company, what stages will you follow for developing and executing the new strategy? So here how you will work, you have what steps you will take to change the strategy and what new strategy you will execute. Both the things will covered over here, right? Another question is due to reoccurrence of various variants of coronavirus, Element Limited is facing unstable environment and it has started unbundling and disintegrating its activities. It also started relying on outside vendors for performing these activities. Identify the organization structure Element Limited is shifting to. Under what circumstances this structure becomes useful. So here the question is about various variants of coronavirus. Element Limited is facing unstable environment. This is here the environment is related to business environment and it has started unbundling and disintegrating its activities. As this is, keyword comes, disintegrating its activities. That means it has started unbundling and disintegrating its activities. It immediately it should be struck in your mind that it is a clear-cut case of network structure. It is a clear-cut case of network structure. Right? Again, there is a question number 9. Yes, this question is also majority of the students have attempted this question wrongly. I have seen many of the answer sheets of the students and I found that students are not able to understand the essence of this question. It's a very straightforward question, but I don't know whether the students will not be able to understand the meaning of intertwined and linked, or whatever they know they have put it in the answer sheet. Majority of the students have written the difference between strategy formulation and implementation instead of their linkage. Although it's a very clear cut case of linkage about forward linkage as well as backward linkage. But majority of the students wrote difference between formulation and implementation. Very bad, and really upset with this also, that students have not even understand the meaning of the question and they have write whatever they like. You have to show the relation between formulation and implementation instead of difference between them. How they are forward linkages and how they are backward through the process. Like forward linkages about environmental scanning, vision, mission. These all are the thing, new strategies, then implementation, then again it goes for feedback, that how we can change it, then it will become it's a backward linkage. Please students, my request to all of you, please, while attempting the paper, please read the question paper carefully. Read the questions which have been asked in the paper, read them carefully, understand them carefully, that what has been asked in the question. Don't write whatever you like to or whatever you know. Don't write those things. Write only those concepts which have been asked in the question paper. Next question is, there are 4 specific criteria of sustainable competitive advantage that firms can use to determine those capabilities that are known as core competencies. Explain. It's a very straightforward question, and I don't know why students have not able to perform in this question also. Although it's a simple question, very straightforward question, you have to write the 4 specific criterias for sustainable competitive advantage that firms can use to determine those capabilities that are core competencies. What are core competencies? I suppose now you all are able to understand the terminology, core competencies, core competitive advantage. What are these? Capabilities that are valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and non-substitutable are core competencies. Which are is your strength? Which are your company's strength? Valuable capabilities are the ones that allow the firm to exploit opportunities or avert the threats in the external environment. Like iPhone. Radha has mentioned in her query about the iPhone. So I am giving the example of iPhone only, that what is the valuable thing? What is the valuable capabilities of Apple iPhones. They are exploiting opportunities or threat to the external environment. A firm created value for customers by effectively using capabilities to exploit the opportunities. It may be the financial opportunities, it may be the technical opportunities, it may be in the form of any of the human resource, whatever. The second is rare. Core competence are very rare capabilities. Remember this, which is only with you. You may be good, you may be after doing the chartered accountant course, you have a degree in your chartered accountant, but it is not necessary that you are good in all the areas: taxation, audit, accounting, management, costing. You have your own capabilities. You have your own core competence. Right? Third is costly to imitate. If somebody wants, what does the meaning of costly to imitate? If somebody wants to get at that level where your organization, your firm is, so if they want to copy your things, they were not able to do so because they are too costly, costly to imitate. Last is non-substitutable. Capabilities that do not have strategic equivalents are called non-substitutable capabilities. So this is all about core competence. Next question is question number 10. ABC Steel Industries find out that its products have reached at maturity stage and already has overcapacity. Just give me a second. What happened to this system? ABC Steel Industries finds out that its products have reached at maturity stage and already has overcapacity. Therefore, it concentrates on maintaining operational efficiency of its plants. Identify. Now what you have to do? Identify the strategy implemented by ABC Limited along with reasons. They have asked two questions. First, you have to identify it and then give the reasons. It's a very easy question and many of the students have written very well. It is a clear-cut case of stability strategy, because in the very first line it is mentioned that that the product have reached at maturity level, maturity stage in the product life cycle, and already has overcapacity. It simply shows that it is a clear-cut case of stability strategy. and you have to give the reasons. Most of the students have written well and they have scored good marks in this question. The next question is, what do you understand by diversification? Distinguish between concentric and conglomerate diversification. This question also students have written well, and I have discussed it at length about the diversification and concentric and conglomerate. I think so that there is no need to discuss it over here. Yeah, the last question is, the bargaining power of suppliers determines an industry's attractiveness and profitability. Discuss. Students have not well versed with the concept of bargaining power of suppliers. They have written unnecessary things which turns into a below average temptation. Students, please try to understand that what is basically bargaining power of suppliers. Quite often, suppliers to exercise considerable bargaining power over purchasing companies. Bargaining power over purchasing companies. The more specialized the offering from the supplier, greater may be its clout. Further, when the suppliers are limited in number, they may openly exhibit their bargaining power. The bargaining power of suppliers determines the cost of raw materials and other inputs of the industry, and therefore an industry's attractiveness and profitability. Of course, if somebody is having the raw material in their hand, the bargaining power of suppliers determine the cost of the raw material, that you know very well, and other inputs of the industry, and therefore an industry's attractiveness and profitability. Suppliers can influence the profitability of an industry in a number of ways. How? Suppliers can command bargaining power over a firm when they can command over the bargaining power. Their products are crucial to the buyer and substitutes are not available. We can see the example during the pandemic time when the remdesivir and other medicines which are very crucial for the life at that time, the suppliers have a very good bargaining power. Am I right? So at that time the suppliers have a very good bargaining power. Masks due to the COVID time, in the COVID time, they can ensure high switching costs. They are more concentrated than their buyers. Because they are less, they are limited, so they are unite. Less suppliers, more buyers. When this situation occurs, suppliers will be in a good position in a bargaining power situation. That I had given you an example of COVID times. Very less buyers, concentrated suppliers, and more buyers. Less suppliers, more buyers. In that case, always the supplier is in a bargaining position. So with this is all about the paper of May 2000. 2022. If any of the student have any doubt, please post your query so that I can solve your query. Please post your queries if you are having, if any of the student have any query related to strategic management, please post it on the link so that I can address that query. Or otherwise, I think that you people get understand all the things which I have discussed with you in this session, and with this hope I expect that this time the strategic management results will come good. Anybody is having any query? No queries so far. Whatever queries I have received so far, I have already discussed amongst you. So please students, make it clear that you all read the question paper very carefully. What have been asked in the question, you have to write the legitimate answer of that question only, right? Whether it may be the application oriented question or it may be the descriptive question, you have to read it thoroughly and write it accordingly. With this, I think this session is over. I'll wait for 2-3 minutes also if somebody is writing any query or asking any query. Ma'am, Abhishek is writing, ma'am, you mentioned at start about MTP for November 2022. How to send it to you through scanning for evaluation? Okay. Yeah, Abhishek, it's a very good question. Otherwise, after while winding this session, I will told you my email ID. My email ID is ruchi.gupta@icai.in. Just give me a second. I'm writing ruchi dot Gupta GUPTA @icai.in. You can post your queries on my email ID ruchi.gupta@icai.in. Revati has posted a query, ma'am, discuss RTP May 2022. Okay, you have any doubt or any query in RTP? Just give me a second. Give me a second, Revati. I am opening the RTP. Just give me a second. May, Revti has written for November 22 or May 22. Okay, ma'am, what to do when in one question we see the situation where many strategy is applied? Then what should be answer in such case? Like first question came in May 22 paper. First question is a clear cut case of benchmarking. There is no other option. There is no other option, Krishna. It's a very clear case of benchmarking. And if you find any you can say any options in the MCQs as well as in any of the caselets, you have to give the appropriate answer. Out of the four options, what should be the appropriate one? You have to select that. Mansha, you are still there? I am surprised. For how long you are taking the classes of strategic management? I think it has been from 2015 or 16. I'm surprised to see you here. Business process restructuring is conducted by top and business level managers only, whereas business process re-engineering is mostly done by functional managers. Am I right? Oh, business process re-engineering and business process restructuring. Business process restructuring, yes, it is done by top level management, and business process re sometimes it may be covered in top level as well as in business level. It's mostly my functional level managers, yes. Okay, Revti is now saying no, not for May 22, it's for November 22 RTP she wants to discuss. Do you have any specific query, Revti? Ma'am, can we use diagrams? Muskan is writing to explain and support our answers like in two-tier architecture. You can, but it is again you have to understand first that what basically the question have been asked. If the in the question, how can you you want in the pictorial form, na? So first you have to at least write the things. Then only you can make out the graphs. Okay, Revti, I am opening the RTP for November 22. I think now the RTP is on your screens. Will you be able to see the RTP on your screens? Anybody please reply on in the query on the query link so that I will be able to know that whether you will be able to see the RTP or not. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, students. You all have written that it is visible. Thank you very much. Now, this is a case scenario. We will discuss the case scenario first. In July 2014, Fresh Air Hospitality and Resorts launched a major project called Fit in Future. After being in losses for 3 consecutive years. According to analysis by senior management, many customers were not returning and repeat sales of rooms were low. The costs were also high with a lot of wastage in the kitchen. If the losses were allowed to continue, the survival of the organization was doubtful. Survival of the organization was doubtful. I think it's coming. So underline this line, survival of the organization. It is a question mark for the survival of the organization. Fit in Future project was organization wide employee driven initiative that focused the reversing the trend and find ways to find out how the organization can survive. Focus was to provide high quality services while finding new ways of delivery to improve customer satisfaction and reduce costs. The idea was to create a conducive organizational culture and work climate. At that time, Shailja Mehta joined the organization as the new resident manager. She brought with her considerable experience in improving the quality services in restaurants, banquet sale, and room reservations. She immediately set about spending 2 months talking to staff, bringing a guest first approach. So, that is a turnaround, guest first approach. Some of the staff members expressed frustration that their suggestions on improving services were often not heard, making them demotivated. The new manager noted their concerns. Over time, she offered enthusiasm and inspired staff. Underline this again, a punchline. So, to exert them for the good of the organization. At the end, you must find a question related to the leadership, that whether Shailja has done a leadership of transformational or transactional. As an outcome of the project, it was decided that both in internal as well as external interactions, customers will be called guests and treated accordingly. There was general agreement that reducing wastages and improving the quality of services shall be chief priority from top to bottom. It was decided that the team leaders shall always work together with frontline staff for speedy decisions. Focused training programs were organized to train the frontline staff to remain well groomed and courteous to guests at all times. Accordingly, a new system was put in place from January 15. As a result of the efforts, the satisfaction level of guests get improved and their loyalty reflected in form of increase in repeat sales over next 2 years. After 2 years, while the organization was able to make some profits, they were still low considering the capital employed. In July 18, Shailja Mehta suggested to make extensive study to radically design existing ways. Radically resign. This is again a punchline. Existing ways of doing work and delivery services. Now, based on the scenario, first is fit in future project can be best related to. Fit in future project can be best related to improving leadership, improving morale, coordination, or turnaround. Give me the answers. Give me the answers. Few of the students are writing. Turnaround. Let us see. Others are writing. Good, good. Then next question is name the strategic tool to measure and set goals for wastage in kitchen as per best practices. It is again a clear cut question. Best practices: benchmarking, cost control, loss assessment, or turnaround. We have already read this in the uh, our May 22 paper. It's a clear cut of benchmarking. Reply, please reply fast, students, so that you can revise it over here itself. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Then next is the leadership style of Shailja Mehta can be best described as. I told you na, that it's a punchline. There must be a question on leadership style. So, what is the leadership style of Shailja Mehta? Automatic, no. Motivational, no. Transactional or transformational? Reply, reply. Post your answers fast. Post your answers, students. Yes, it's a transformational. Good, good, good. Then next is you all are very much clear in your concepts. You are all are giving very good answers, correct answers. The suggestions made by Shailja Mehta in July 2018 are related to business process for engineering, leverage, organizational design, or strategic control. Post your answers. Suggestions made by Shailja Mehta in July 2018 are related to business process reengineering, leverage, organizational redesign, and strategic control. And last is to succeed, fresh air hospitality and resort needs to deliver better value to customers, improve efficiencies, fix minimum profit percentage over cost. All the three, 2, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3. These are the very simple questions. Revti, if you have any particular question needs to discuss over here in RTP. So my submission here is to, when we are working on the case scenario, you just see you saw that how can we identify, how can we find out the keyword areas, keywords where we can get the answers. I have solved two case scenarios in front of you just by saying that this is the key line, please underline it, this is the keyword. How you will know that? By doing more and more practice of the case scenarios. That's why I'm saying please read the case scenarios. There are more than 35 case scenarios or 35 case scenarios in the case scenario booklet. Once you go through all the case scenarios, you will make out easily that what should the punchlines in your case scenarios, so that it will helpful to give you the prompt answer in less time, right? Now I will discuss few of the scenario based caselets because students find problem in caselet questions. This is Woodward Limited is a company. Question number 10. Very good question. Woodward Limited is a company manufactures a variety of household furniture items. Two of the I have a doubt in solving integrated case scenarios. Okay, Revti, you have a doubt in only integrated case scenarios, no other questions. Okay. So after doing two case scenarios, how do you feel that how you will you be able to attempt it well in the examination now? Mancha is organization need to deliver better value in terms of attributes and improve efficiency. Yes, Mansha, you are absolutely correct. Oh, one of the student is asking that, ma'am, please tell me any technique to memorize the concepts, especially before exams. I told you when I started my this session, I told you and I emphasize on a line. Remember, my students, there is no shortcuts to success. There is no shortcut. Only the hard work pays you. You have to do hard work to get scores. Right? What you can do best is to memorize the techniques. I told you you have to read at least one financial newspaper on daily basis so that you will acclimatize with the keywords of business. One of the student is writing, can you kindly discuss the point 5 of question number 1, integrated case scenario of what? Of RTP. Point number of RTP you are asking? So, question number 5 you are asking. Nilabjo, are you asking about question number 5 of RTP integrated case scenario? 5 is 3, 4, 5. To succeed fresh air, hospitality and resorts need to deliver better value to customers. Of course it is. Improve efficiencies, yes. Fix minimum profit percentage over cost, because it is not mentioned anywhere in the case scenario. It is not mentioned. So the option is A, delivery better value to customers, deliver better values to customers and improve efficiencies. In the very last lines of case scenario, after 2 years, while the organization was able to make some profits, they were still low considering the capital employment. Shelja Mehta suggested to make extensive study to radically design existing ways to doing work and delivery services. Okay, and above, the satisfaction level of guests improved and their loyalty reflects. All are mentioned except this fifth point, fix minimum profit percentage over cost. It is not mentioned in the given case scenario. That's why the above two, delivery better value to customers and improve efficiency, is the correct answer. Yes, very good. A is the correct answer. So I think if you have any doubts, Revti is thorough with the doubts. She is having some doubts in. Okay, Nilobja. Any other doubt? Please post your queries. Otherwise, I am going to wind up this session. I am waiting for 1-2 minutes. If somebody is writing and somebody is wants to write anything, ask anything, please send your queries. Okay, students, no more queries. With this hope, I expect that you all will do wonders in your examinations and especially in strategic management. And I wish you all the best for your examinations and your future endeavors. Okay, okay. If you Abhishek is asking some question, ma'am, can we also call on toll-free number for students' query on BOS portal for other subjects doubts? Yes, yes, very much, my dear student. Even you can call me on 907 for strategic management. 3045907 is my landline number. Any student in between the office hours, they can call me and ask their queries. Meanwhile, you can ask the queries with other faculties also. No issues. Even if you want to meet us, you can come to Board of Studies. Don't worry about that. Thank you, Anmol. Thank you. Is it advisable to refer the referencer before exam? Referencer is just to brush up, but you have to study hard with your study material as well as your case scenario booklets. Referencer is just to brush up. Mancha, you are advising on what? I will suggest these strategic options. Invest in new design better. For what you are giving? No clues. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you. Akriti is asking, the nature of strategic decision is risk oriented and value oriented. Strategic decisions are basically done by top level management, right? So of course they are risk oriented, but sometimes it may happen, that is again depend upon the situation, but more or less strategic decisions are risk oriented. Anybody have any doubt? I think uh, Mancha, what happened? You are asking for question number 10, Woodward Limited. Woodward Limited. Okay, just give me a second. What is in? What is it? Okay, okay. You have given the answer of I'll suggest these strategic option, invest in new design. Oh, Woodward Limited is a company manufactures a variety of household furniture items. Okay. They offer traditional designs, low cost furniture items to low income group customers. Fine. During the last couple of years, the company has been observing a fall in the market share. This is due to the change in the taste and preferences, designs, better quality, increase in purchasing power of buyers towards the household furniture. Correct. The customers are switching away traditional designs and material that they have been the backbone of the worldwide Woodward Limited. As a CEO of Woodward Limited, what can be the strategic options available with you? It's a very good question. And Mansha has suggested some other thing, or these are the things which are already we have discussed. Woodward is having a product portfolio that is evidently in the decline stage. Of course, now they are almost going to obsolete. So what strategic options they are having? Invest in new product development and switch over the latest designs. Okay. Woodward also needs time to invest in hiring interior designers. Okay, you have Mansha, what you have suggested? Options: invest in new design, better quality furniture and place the products into star category. Oh, that's really good. Divest the existing product. Here we are asking for that whatever the is the are the strategic options available. We are not going to select the option in this question. As a CEO, you have strategic options available with the CEO. What are? If in the question we find we say that select the best option, then you can select. Right, Pinsha? Okay, students. Okay, Akriti. Wish you all the best. Go for your examination. And thank you very much for listening me very patiently. If anybody have any doubt, you can call me on 3045907 or you can mail me ruchi.gupta@ici.in. Okay, with this note, I expect that you all will do wonders in your examination and please take care of your health and don't take so much of pressure of the exams. Exam anxiety is very poor. Over.